Everybody, welcome to Run the Twist, episode 322. It's March 5th, 2018. I've got a couple of whiny dogs. One Daisy. Come on, Daisy. Come say hi. Come on. Come on, Munchkin. No, she's not going to come up. One Daisy. Here, I'll show you. Right there. Right next to my leg. And you'll hear a Phoebe who's over here, just whining, blending into the rug that she is so good at doing. So, how's your guys' week been? It's been a bit, I don't want to say crazy, it's been a good week. Busy, but, you know, in the normal sense. So, let's jump right in. First thing that I have on the needles is Beck. And I kind of podcaster cheated on this one. I realized last night that I pretty much hadn't touched it since last week. So this was my last night knitting pretty much exclusively. No, not pretty much. It was exclusively my knitting from last night. This is the Beck sweater by Danny Sunshine. I'm knitting the 40-inch bust size. It's actually looking like a sweater. It could pass for a toddler sweater right now, albeit a very baggy one. But knitting out of Rowan Felted DK Felted Tweed DK, excuse me, in colorway 173. Get the tag out for you. And it's a 50-25-25 merino wool, alpaca, and viscose blend. Can see. I just joined on the 4th ball. Did that last night. So that was kind of my goal. I wanted to get through the 3rd waist shaping, and then I was so close to finishing that ball that I was like, I can join on the 4th ball. Why not? So it's coming along. It's kind of just below where an Empire waistline would be. Kind of right maybe 2 inches under my bust. Is kind of at the end of my rib cage right now. I know it's hard to see. I scooted closer and lowered my chair so I don't have to reach so much. Let me know what you guys think. So I'm kind of, you can kind of see me. It's not laying beautifully, but so my belly button's like there. And that's kind of slightly above the waist of my jeans. So according to the pattern, I've got, for the size 40, I need to do, well, here, show you how much I did. There's my little progress marker. That's all I did, maybe like, yeah, 1.5 inches of knitting. The rounds are long, okay? I did 1.5 inches of knitting in one night. I think that's pretty darn good. I know you guys won't give me any grief over it, but yeah, I like to get a little further since I'm only working on 2 things. But yeah, well, moving my progress marker up here, my little coffee cup that a patient made for me. But oh, I need to take a needle nose pliers to that. That is not sitting together very well. Sorry, guys. Okay. Anyway, knitting it up on a US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter needle. So 3rd waist shaping is done. I'm supposed to knit to 9 inches from the underarm. When I measured last night, I was at about 7, because I made, before I did the 1st waist shaping, which I'm pointing to kind of right here, I can kind of see it jutting out right there. I did longer than the 2 inches that it called for. I think I did 2.5, and then I did right at 2 for the waist shaping. I'm at roughly 7-ish inches, and it says to go to 9, but I think I'm gonna go to 10. I have plenty of yarn, so I haven't even broken into the full bag of this yarn. So I think I bought 14 balls of this Rowan Felted Tweed DK from Personal Threads Boutique back in Omaha years ago on one of their customer appreciation sales. So it's coming along. I'm into the, oh my gosh, kill me stockinette portion. Yeah, it's fine. It's nice TV knitting, but I'm also not drinking coffee today. I'm actually drinking tea, so There's something weird in the air. That's all I can say. But yeah, working on that last night while watching past seasons of America's Next Top Model. Why? Why did I start watching that again? I'm 5 seasons in from the beginning. Why? Why? I don't know. I need something mindless that I've seen before. So, second thing, the Worry socks. They're my 72 stitch vanilla socks with a heel flap. They're out of Trekking XXL in colorway 415. And Trekking's one of the workhorse yarns that I always keep a couple of balls in my stash. It's a nice 75-25, and it says new wool mixed. It's wool. It's super wash wool and nylon. It's a good workhorse yarn. These socks last forever when I make them. Ah! Fall down. I'm knitting them up on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. First sock has been done for a while. There it is, on a poorly fitting sock blocker, but I love it. It's bright, it's happy. I needed something bright and happy when I pulled this out of the stash when hubby was having his heart thing going on. Second sock, and this is where the majority of my knitting has gone. Just FYI. We watched a couple? Yeah, I think we watched 2 Marvel movies in the last week. Just to make up for not, because, oh my gosh, the big news. Why we watched 2 Marvel movies? We watched 2 Marvel movies because, for those of you not in the know or that don't follow Marvel, the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, Avengers Infinity War got moved up in its release date by a week, and oh my gosh! So now it's coming out April 27th instead of May 4th. No, not May 4th. May. Whenever it was in May that it was supposed to come out. It's coming out a week earlier. It's coming out in April now, so yay. Obviously, I need the calming chamomile tea because I freaked out a little there. But, so, I can't remember if I've told you or not. Hubby and I we saw a thing on Facebook, because isn't that where everyone gets their things to do? Where starting in the new year, if you watched one Marvel movie a week, by the time you have finished all 18 movies that had come out, then you would be ready when Infinity War comes out. So, like I told you last week, we had seen Black Panther, so we don't have to worry about watching that. Thor Ragnarok comes out on DVD next week, so even though we just saw it in November, we'll probably watch it again right before we go. And so we've been watching all of the movies, not in theatrical release date, but in terms of chronological release date. So we start with Captain America, the First Avenger, and then The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, so on and so forth. We just watched Iron Man 3, which we both said was a lot better than we remembered. We both remembered watching it and kind of going, meh, not our favorite. Watched it the second time, and it's like, this is actually pretty good. So, I don't know. We enjoyed it a lot more. And then watched Captain America, the Winter Soldier, which is Captain America 2, essentially. The one where we find out, I'm not going to tell you in case you haven't seen it, where we find a person who was presumed dead is not dead, and that something, yeah, I'm not going to tell you. There's so many spoilers if you haven't seen it. Anyway, so a lot of knitting. I needed, or a lot of time I could be knitting down here on the couch while watching those, and then watching hubby play Assassin's Creed. So last week, that was where the little dangly bit is hooked in. That's partway down the cuff. I finished the cuff. I finished the heel flap. I did the turn. I did the gusset. I am zooming my way out the foot. So hopefully, well, I'm not even going to say hopefully. Maybe by next week. If you heard that thud, that's my daughter not taking her nap. So hopefully by next week, I will have a completed pair of socks. which would be awesome. And then I could work on hubby's next socks or my friend Sarah's next socks, since I still have to send her Christmas socks. I'm a terrible friend. Oh my good gravy. Ugh. And I can't get this thing back in, so I'm not going to put it in right now. Anyway, I did like more than half of a sock while watching 2 movies. And also we took the kids down to the Denver Zoo as a surprise. And they were very, very excited and had a lot of fun. Parking was terrible for a Friday though, but the weather was beautiful. It was like 67 degrees in Denver. I will say it's a nice zoo, but having lived in Omaha and been to the Henry Dorley Zoo several times, and same thing with hubby, he'd been several times, we were a little spoiled, jaded, disappointed in it. It's a very good zoo, but just the way the animals are displayed in the enclosures that they're kept in reminds me more of old school zoo versus at the Henry Dorley Zoo, especially the larger animals. They try to get them into an area that doesn't look like a cage. So while it was a great thing to take the kids to, and they loved it, we were a little bit disappointed, but that's just because we've been spoiled by the Henry Dorley Zoo. And if you don't know about the Henry Dorley Zoo and you are anywhere near Omaha, highly, 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 highly recommend it. It's beautiful. They're constantly expanding and revamping and doing things to make it better for the animals, which is a really great thing. So, yay. But it was a fun surprise to take the kids to, and I got to knit a little bit in the car on the way down and on the way back. Not, a lot because I was the navigator. Yeah. What else can I tell you? That's all I've been working on. I haven't touched the stained glass blanket, obviously, or I would have shown it to you. I've, for some reason, in the last week or two, had a real hankering to bust out the spinning wheel and spin something. But I know if I do that, it will take me months to finish whatever I start, because I'll have a grand total of like 10 minutes to spin in 1 week. So rather than do that, I've tamped that down a little bit. Let's see, so moving on, Various and Sundry, obviously we kind of transitioned there. I've been looking ahead at Estes Park, the wool market that's coming up. Let me pull it up and see if we have dates. It's going to be June 8th and 9th at Estes Park, Colorado. Those are, well, the 8th and 9th are the workshops, the classes, and then the actual wool market is open the 10th and 11th. And for the first time in a couple of years, I'm actually free on Friday. So I suddenly realized that the other night. I was like, I could take a class. And I looked at the classes available, and there's a few that kind of piqued my interest, but it's like, I don't know what to do with myself that I can actually take a class. And I'm just kind of like, do I take a class? Do I not take a class? I don't know. Should I just go up there with hubby and the kids for the day like we've done the last couple of years? Should I don't know. Help me decide, because evidently I can't make a decision anymore. I can barely decide what I want to eat for dinner, let alone deciding something as big as taking a class. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting at. Thought I heard little feet coming this direction. Sorry. So today, after the beautiful last few days, so that was Friday and Saturday, were kind of gorgeous, and having the house open. And I know all of you out on the East Coast are probably cussing me out right now because you're getting buried by snow. Today the temperature dropped about 35 degrees. We're in the mid 30s. It's beautiful and sunshiny, but the wind is just howling. It's awful. It's not snowing, but it about slammed my hand in the car door when I was at the grocery store with the kids earlier. So I'm going to stay safe stay inside, and until next week, happy knitting.